happy Friday. Today I want to talk about a couple of basic movements that are going to help with your pull-ups. So if you don't have pull-ups yet, which I know it is a difficult movement, especially if we're talking about the strict pull-up, it's quite hard to get. It took myself a couple of years coming in with only really like a sporting background from school. So I liked hockey and swimming and things like that. And being a normal girl, I used to do a lot of legs at gym and a lot of cardio back then without knowing any better. Just kidding. No, I'm kidding. So now obviously coming in with the strength, with doing strength or changing over, can I say, after doing years and years of cardio and years of circuit training and all kinds of jazz, I didn't come in with a big upper body background. So it took me a couple of years to get a strict pull-up. I'd say about 3, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. So I know how it feels. That's basically what I'm trying to get down to. I know how it feels, and I see a lot of people struggling with pull-ups, and it's because maybe particularly a couple of times they've moved away from the basics too quickly. So they've underestimated the importance of something like a ring row, which I want to speak about today. So today's topic is not underestimating the basics as well as the importance of the basics. So what is a ring row? Firstly, these rings are suspended. I've got them attached to the rig. They're nice and safe. They don't move, so please don't attach them to a cupboard or something like that. They need to be really, really solid and stable. You can definitely attach them somewhere at home, but like I said, I've got them attached. They're nice and ready. I've planted my feet, so my feet aren't going to move from here. I lean back to wherever I feel comfortable. I then pull my shoulders to the rings and then back down to a straight arm. Sorry, angle's a little bit weird. So we want to make sure that the difficulty is set appropriately, and this is what I love about a ring row, is that the difficulty of the movement can change just like that, so easily, just depending on where we want to move our feet. So if I move my feet more behind the rings, the movement suddenly becomes easier. I lean back, and less on my shoulders and more on my feet. I then pull up. I can make it super hard and walk all the way down, where I'm a lot more lower, so a lot more my body weight is on my shoulders. I then pull. It's a lot harder than if I had to move my feet back. So depending on where I move my feet, I can easily change the difficulty of the movement. I can even, I'm not going to do it now, I can even incline my feet, so pop my feet onto a box or something like that, and then be in an inverted position. From there onwards, guys, this is where it becomes important that I know it feels like, oh, I'm just doing ring rows all the time. You can change it up. So like I said, not even just changing the difficulty of moving your feet around or being in an incline position, but adding tempos and pauses and things like that really, really help. So setting my feet to sort of an easier level now, but then I lower myself down in 3, 2, 1, pull up again. 3, 2, 1, pull up again. I could add pauses, so pause at the top, hold at the top, lower down slowly again. So really, it allows us to build up the strength that we need to do a strict pull-up, because we have so much advantage on how we can move around and what we can do in the ring row, as opposed to jumping up and hanging on the bar. We might have a lot less, we've got a lot less strength, so therefore we're going to need bands and things like that, and the strength goes a lot quicker because we might only be able to do one at a time or something like that. Nothing wrong with doing negative pull-ups, absolutely, guys. I'm just saying that I've seen a lot of people move away from the ring row too quickly, and they're either just not ready, or they just don't feel that this movement is bringing any good to them, and it's completely wrong, guys. I still do ring rows on a regular basis. It's an incredible movement, especially when it comes to something like the muscle up, where you want that horizontal movement, where you need to think about getting your hips higher. But that's a whole nother conversation. For the fact that a lot of us are at home, we might not have rings, we might not have the ability to do any form of pull-up. Obviously, do want to keep this chat home gym friendly as well. You can do the exact same opposite of thinking about a bent over row. So here, I grab any form of weight, and again, it doesn't need to be a kettlebell or a dumbbell. It can be heavy water bottles, it can be bags, it can be sandbags, it can really be anything, guys. So use your imagination, because it is really great to add some resistance to your workouts. We can think about, now being in this bent over position, I'm sort of pulling in a different way. So obviously, yes, not the exact same way, but I'm still developing great pulling strength. I can have one or two weights. I can think about doing the exact same thing. Pulling up and back. We want to now think about just making sure that we're not hunching over, and that we are making sure that the midline is nice and tucked, tummy is nice and tight, back and chest are engaged. Thinking about pulling and coming back to a straight arm, so not these very aggressive, sort of hoppy bend over rows. Keep it super strict and slow. From there onwards, we can again add a pause. Pulling up, can I pause here? Coming down, can I add a tempo? 3, 2, 1 up, 3, 2, 1 down. So slowing it down to a whole different level. It just adds an incredible benefit that you can do from home as well. So ring rows, bent over rows, developing that pulling strength without having to always have that rig available. So we don't always have even the availability to do strict pull-ups on a rig, but we also don't need to think about getting too fancy too quickly. So remember the basics, return to the basics, know that they are incredible for you. Have an awesome Friday, guys. I'll be putting a more detailed post up sometime soon regarding a couple of movements that you can do from your home, as well as if you still have advantage to the gym, or if you've just got great equipment at home as well. Either way, which works for you. Working through that to develop your strict pull-up. Have an awesome weekend, guys. Bye.